Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Eagles and the 49ers, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. Taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver, but he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front, so if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him, picks up 3 on that carry.
To throw on second down, Cavanaugh. Throw left side complete. That's Carter. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions, even when you're taking some hits. Sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Off the play fake. Cavanaugh looking middle, and it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10. They'll look to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Let's go, let's go.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd run, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun, Cavanaugh. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And the Niners are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what I'm looking for from him today the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
They'll run on first down. It's Craig, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point attempt to come here. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick-6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick-6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
On first down, it's Craig. And some room to roam now. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
That throw by Young incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Young on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is taken at about the 14. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, you know, we've got to finish. We've got to finish off drives, finish off the game. There's an example there of not finishing, doing everything right, but not getting the result that you need.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
First down, Philadelphia.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Cavanaugh. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Now they took their shot, but the coverage up to the task, and it forces a 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into 1st downs and hopefully points.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Now a give right side. Craig. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The play fake, now Young. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. On 1st and 10, Cavanaugh. He's got quick. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Throwing on 1st down, Cavanaugh completes it to Quick. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 7 yards, the pickup there.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cavanaugh. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 43. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a 1st down.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A big play that time through the air. 39 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Back to throw again. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's 3rd and goal after the sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
It's Young on 1st down. That'll be caught by Rice. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Young. Caught by Wilson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Young's throw here into the hands of Jones. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Young working out of the gun. He finds his man, complete. That's Craig. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Defense is worried that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a hint of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
The 49ers moving hastily. They're scurrying to the line. It'll be Young again. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Now Young. Man open, here is Jones. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 29-yard line. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0 as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for Philadelphia. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
They'll run on first down. It's Craig. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. Solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Craig, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Young. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
On first down, Craig, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And they just get the play off. Now Young. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
56, Mike.
Out of the gun, it's Young. And this one is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Off play action. Cavanaugh. Looking for a slot man, and he's got him. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Cavanaugh. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete.
That's it, baby. Complete to number 41.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
To throw on 2nd down. Cavanaugh. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
For the heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to make it 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
Come on now, let's go.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And got his man complete. Touchdown 49ers. A great effort there. 85 yards. And the Niners are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to a field goal. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again.
They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
On 1st down, Cavanaugh. And that's incomplete.
But listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now a handoff looking right, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. The Eagles on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Cavanaugh. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field, and you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now here's Young. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
On 2nd down, it's Craig, and he stopped immediately there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Let's rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Young looks to throw on 1st down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
7 yards, the pickup there.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Young now from the 50. And a completion to Wilson. And he is going to have a Niners first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Young. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they take possession of the football and have it at their 36-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball, You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. You've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. They'll be hoping to work a little clock and try to add on to this slim fourth-quarter lead. But whatever happens on this drive, certainly a huge fumble recovery by their defense at this juncture. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Cavanaugh got his man complete over the middle. That's Jackson. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now they try the right side here. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Second and 11. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as good running gets them to about the 44.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium. That certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.